A call to worship. In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. God is the source and the substance, and all that is. God is all good, and therefore my life is all good. I live this good now and forever. And so it is.
Good morning. My name is Chantel, and I welcome you to our Sunday spiritual experience. We are Verity Centre for Better Living, a New Thought teaching ministry founded by the Reverend Evan Reed. We are also a member of the Universal Foundation for Better Living. Namaskar. If you are joining us for the first time, it is my pleasure to greet you on behalf of the Board of Directors and our members. It is my hope that something said or done today will make a positive difference in your life. Please know that we accept you, respect you, and appreciate you. If you have any questions or need to find out more about the center, please visit our website at veritycenter.org or follow us on Facebook. We thank you for spending this time with us. Our vision is creating and maintaining a spiritually based community that facilitates enlightenment, enrichment, and empowerment. Our mission is offering spiritually based principles and techniques to those who are seeking to live healthier, happier, and more prosperous lives. Our motto is always verifying the truth, vivifying the spirit, vitalizing the soul. We offer a full range of sacerdotal services, classes, and spiritual coaching. There are also opportunities to be an active part of this community. Please visit our website or contact the office. Please affirm the opening statement with me. It is on your screen. In the affinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. God is the source and substance, all that is. God is all good, and therefore my life is all good. I live this good now and forever. Please turn to the page after the center page of your daily inspiration publication, and I will be reading the first 3 core beliefs. They are also on your screen. We believe that it is God's will that every individual on the face of this earth should live a healthy, happy, and prosperous life. We believe that such a life is within the reach of each one of us, and the way to its attainment begins with the realization that the kingdom of God is within us, waiting for us to bring it into expression. We believe that we can bring this kingdom forth by practicing the universal spiritual principles handed down through the ages and taught by our wayshower, Jesus Christ. Today's inspirational reading is found on page 68. It'll be read by Jada Edwards of the Sunday School.
Good morning. Listen to your intuition. Let your inner compass direct the course of your life. Acting on our intuition is one of the most empowering choices we can make in our lives. When we lose touch with our intuition or find ourselves too distracted or insecure to trust what we feel inside, we fall out of integrity with our true self and surrender our creative ability to respond to life's circumstances. We can't control the outside world, but by tuning in, listening to our soul, and following our inner voice, we can begin to chart a new course, one that brings about deep satisfaction and personal peace, regardless of what is going on around us. Navigating through life, we are like a boat at sea. Intuition is the rudder that helps us to maintain our true course when the wind and weather threaten to push us off track. Affirm, I listen to the unerring guidance of my inner tutor. All is calm in my life, world, and affairs. Scriptural text is taken from Proverbs 4, verse 1. Listen and be attentive, that you may gain insight. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Jada. Please listen to the announcements.
Good morning, Verity family. I'm Shem, and here are your morning announcements. The Daily Call to Love meditation continues Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. The link is in the Verity News. You can use email. And to receive the phone information, well, all you got to do is leave a message at 416-240-1956. Don't forget, you can join us each and every Sunday before service for meditation, 10:35 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. I want to welcome you right now to Verity's Creative Zone, where you can get a chance to display your creativity. Send in pictures, some paintings, or images that basically bring you joy. Send in a creative video, 3 minutes max, of you showing your skills, or send in some ideas, and we can turn it into an event for the Verity community. Send that information to verityvibe1@gmail.com. Once again, verityvibe1@gmail.com, and they will be displayed during fellowship or at a special event coming soon. Who are the people in your neighborhood? Continue to submit your pictures for past or present, along with some of the following facts: hobbies, occupation, or interests, so that we can recognize and, of course, celebrate and have some fun with you. We are also asking you to send in your birthday or anniversary dates with or without a picture, completely up to you, just so that we don't miss your special event during the month. Please send that information to verityvibe1@gmail.com, and these will be acknowledged at the beginning of the month. The Daily Inspiration Healing Affirmation cards advertised in the center page of the publication are now available in the office. Cost is $15 per package of 40 cards, and there are 3 packages left. To purchase a package, please contact the office at 416-240-1956 or email admin@veritycenter.org. The annual general meeting will be held today after service, so please make sure that you stick around for that. Verity, we're planning to reopen the church. Now, the goal is to reopen for in-person Sunday services starting this September, pending, of course, government health and safety restrictions. Online viewing of the service will still be offered. Please stay tuned for more details. Spiritual Fitness, the book that will be used in Adventure in Faith, is available at the office for a cost of $18. Now, if it is mailed to you, the cost is $23. There are only 17 copies left. Again, there's only 17 copies left, so please email or call the office to reserve your copy. The UFBL invites you to Forgiveness Happy Hour, Your Power of Release. It features the Reverend Galen McDowell and Natalie Vanderpump. It happens Friday, August 27th at 7 p.m. Again, Friday, August 27th, 7 p.m. It'll be live on Zoom and Facebook, and the Zoom and Facebook information are in the Verity News You Can Use email. All right, I'm Shem. Those are your morning announcements.
Let us prepare for a moment of conscious communion with our source and supply.
I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I now let go. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. Ooh. 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 I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I now let go. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. Ooh. 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 Ooh.
I now let go. Let us be still. Let's bring our attention to our breath as we focus on I now let go. Take a deep breath. I now let go and enter the silence. Silence within. Silence is where we meet ourselves. God presence within. And the silence is where we find peace. love, joy. In the silence, we find God. In the silence, we find all the answers that we seek. All the questions that we ask. In the silence, we know that there is perfect peace, perfect love, perfect wisdom, perfect knowledge. The silence is where we find the infinite spirit that lives within us. And the silence is where we are at one with the Lord. In the silence, we know that there is only one power, one presence that exists. And in the silence is where we are at one. So as we enter the space today, we know that in the space, that all that we ask of the infinite come together in that space. So as we enter this space, we know we are at one with peace. Let us take another deep breath. We now let go and let go. We let God take control. We release all that no longer serves us. We'll take one more deep breath. And even though we may come from the space, we know that the space is alive in us. And we will stay in that space throughout the service, so we can take in all the food that will be shared today. And the path that resonates within us will stay within us. One more deep breath. And before we exit the silence, we say within ourselves, I now let go. I now let go. And so it is.
I now let go, I now let go, there's nothing to fear. 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 I now let go, I now let go, there's nothing to fear.
The thought for the week is from You Are the Power by J. Kennedy Schultz. It is on your screen. The amount of faith it takes to work with this creative power within is the amount you already possess. You don't have to reach for more. It's simply a matter of withdrawing your demands and expectations from whoever and whatever says no to your well-being and giving them to God. We will now have a musical selection by Voices of Praise.
Just clap your hands like this, y'all. Just clap your hands like this. Just clap your hands like this, y'all. Just clap your hands like this. Here we go. And the people of God said, yeah. is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. When I look back over all the years that I've been through, can't imagine where I'd be now if it wasn't for you. When it came a rest upon me, I could never explain. When it came a rest upon me, I could never explain. When it came a rest upon me, I could never explain. But I'm so glad that I can say, this is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it, glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made.
Thank you, Voices of Praise. Thank you, Richard. Such a great song. Today's lesson, The Creative Process, will be given by Renee Richards.
Well, good morning, family. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? I know it's been a minute since you've heard my voice, and I'm sorry if it sounds raspy, but I've been singing up a storm just because of Voices of Praise. Can we please applaud them? That was beautiful. Thank you again, Richard. Thank you again, Voices of Praise. Good morning. I can actually say good morning because it's still before noon. Listen, let's do this properly because I know we have a big day today, but I do not want to take away from what the lesson is. And the topic is the creative process. Now, everyone can say, oh, but Renee, we know the process. We've done this so many times before. But really and truly, have we really been doing the work that we said we're doing to do in this process? Now, there are many different processes. Whether we're at work, we're at home, we have certain structures and certain formats to do things. But I want to draw reference to the scripture that we're using today. So if you have your Bible, and I'm using New Revised, I am going to Matthew chapter 25, verse 13. Now, the story before it talks about our 10 bridesmaids, 5 wise, 5 not so smart, right? And the key phrase that I'm looking at verse 13, it says, keep awake, therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour. Now, what are we talking about? We're talking about being prepared for when things are supposed to happen. Are you ready? Although you say you're ready, are you really ready to embark on that new vision that you asked for your life? Are you ready to start and receive the good desires of your heart that you say that you are looking to manifest? Because if you are, then this is the topic for you. And if you're not, then this is still the topic for you, right? So if you're ready, please put in the chat because I am watching it this morning. Tell me that you are ready because this is not something that we take lightly or take wholesomely. Now you could be, and I'm not picking on who's one of the wise or who's one of the not so, but we're all together. By the time we're finished, we're ready. And I see, thank you for someone to respond and saying that I'm ready. Good. All cap it. I'm ready. So let's begin. The idea is the first thing I'm going to talk about is the idea, the identity, the I am, the mind, the creativity, the I am presence that is in you. We call it God, divine spirit. We could give it many a name. The point is only but one absolute good creative process that begins. How do we know? Because that's how it starts. If you look at the Bible, it actually says that in the very beginning. So my second reference for all my Bible takers is the creative process or the Genesis story, right at the beginning of Genesis 1 and chapter 1 to chapter 2. That is it. If you want exact examples, go back to that story. Why? Because it started in the beginning. There was nothing. It was a void. It was empty. But an idea came through. God didn't say, well, let me think about it. I'll sit on it and do stuff. No, you have to be ready right now to move into this newness. What does it also mean? It means that the whole pattern of God. So if you guys are, you know me very well, I'm going to give you all of it. Are you with your life, your wisdom, your power, your substance, and your love? Are you really full of that wholeness of God to move into this now moment, into your truth? And if you are, then you're ready. When I talk about your pattern, do you follow that pattern, or are you going by what other people say that you should be doing or that you ought to be doing? That you say you can, but maybe tomorrow I will. Or I'll put it off because I missed the phone call, so I'm not going to do it right now. The process means that you have to be in the movement to do or to start. So we're commencing, right? The idea of this pattern, or the idea, is that it is fully clothed. It has everything that you need to embark and make manifest in your life affairs and world. Think about a farmer. The farmer gets seeds to plant. He has soil. He's not sitting on the soil saying, well, I'll just let it grow weeds and I just have to tear up the weeds all the time. No, he's cultivating that soil. He's turning it over, making sure that it is hydrated, that it's full of nourishment, because when he plants that seed in there, he knows that it's going to give him an abundance of something that he can market, support, and then sell so that he can take care and sustain his life and family, right? Same thing for us. Our soil, our mind is that plant. So we got to make sure that it's clean and ready. You can't have, as they say, all nine with new wineskin. You can't have that. You can't have an idea of abundance in that seed and then have your soil or your mind full of negativity and hardship and anger and frustration. Because why? It will be like thorns. It will not cultivate something of good harvest. So I hope you are understanding that and you're taking your good notes. One of the things that's also important about the idea is that it is part of the understanding and firmament. Now, again, I'm going back to Genesis 1 when it talked about the fact that we had an empty void and then it became filled with water. It had day and night, and the water which covered the whole earth then was filled up with land. Are you standing on your truth principles? Or are you sometimes, and I'm saying sometimes because that's my word, are you sometimes putting your truth on the shelves, giving everybody the truth of your mind, and then taking off the truth, saying, I am the light and the truth, I am prosperity, but yet you're thinking about lack and brokenness just about maybe an hour or two ago? Now, I'm not being exact or literal, and I'm not trying to know your business. I'm just speaking truth because I've been there. One minute I could be so happy to be saying, yes, I'm going to be prosperous and I'm getting that new job, that new opportunity, everything that is great. But yet I'm thinking, oh no, they probably won't take it on. I'm lowering my expectation of my truth because I'm believing what is going on the outside versus what's happening within me. Are you cleansed from within in order to receive that prosperity? Right? The second point I want to bring out is the vision or the imagination faculty. Now, if you are a true person in this world, you understand that imagination plays a big portion. So you imagine a paint canvas, it's completely blank, as big as you want it. What are you drawing from that idea? When you think of, and for my love of food, are you thinking of baking a cake or food itself? How are you designing that food and being creative with the spices and herbs? Are you putting that out there on that vision canvas so that when you are manifesting, you know exactly how you're making your food to make it so good that everybody wants more? Now, we know a famous baker in this group. We know a few in this church that when they put their love into it, we could say, yes, I could taste everything in the flavor and the wholeness because they imagine the ingredients and how it's supposed to be cultivated and turned, and then how it's supposed to be poured into the pans and then baked at the right temperature to then receive that yummy goodness that we all love to get during, Christmas, Easter, and any other time that we could get an order in, right? Are you using your imagination wisely? Now, we know in the chapter or the story of the 5 wise and 5 foolish bridesmaids that 5 of them decided, oh, we have all our stuff. You know what? We'd rather go and hang out. We'd rather take a nap and, just loft around the neighborhood. But what did the 5 do? They sharpened their wicks. They made sure that they had oil for their lamps because they wanted to be ready for when that moment came that they had to walk into the ceremony for the bridegroom. Now, between you and me, family, we have an opportunity right now during this shift back into what some people are calling normal. I still want to know, what is normal? How are we showing up in this now world with the newness after being in what we call a lockdown for the last 18 months? What were you doing with your mindset to be prepared for right now so that you could show up in the life affairs and world a little bit differently or maybe a lot more boldly? Are you taking the risks necessary and using that canvas, like I said, of your imagination to show up bolder and brighter? Did you work out on yourself? Did you spend more time in prayer and meditation? Did you do anything different? And if so, say that you did. Why? Because by claiming that goodness, you're allowing yourself to get ready for the next phase or my next step. The idea behind imagination, which is so critical, is that as you're thinking the idea and you're creating those visions and concepts in your mind, you're adding feelings, you're adding thoughts or words that will help empower you to make those bold steps. Now, I'm one that will tell you it does work if you work it. So believe me, it's not rocket science. It's not that hard. The only reason why it's hard is because you got yourself in your own way. And I hope I don't step on toes, but if I did, oops. Feelings. What feelings are you putting behind the imagination to make that vision that you've held in your mind actually real right now in this truth? Go back to the example of the bridesmaids. They had the idea that, yes, they wanted to be a part of the grand ceremony. So they got all their dolled upness and they got cute and designed and ready to go. But did they have all the necessary mindset qualities to move forward? Or were they just saying, oh, when it's time, we'll be ready? You hear what I said? When it's time. Do you know when it's time? Did they say at exactly, 11:35, this is exactly what's going to happen right now? No, we never know when we are to show up. So we always must be prepared. What words are you putting behind this? What words are you adding to this whole conversation with your imagination to make it show up in the positive way that you are asking for? Words like empower and authentic and transparent. Those are my favorites, just so you know. Are you showing up with love and excitement? Are you showing up as your true self, ready to move into that now future the way that you desired? Or are you saying, that's a great idea, but, you see that word, but? It's a fence sitter. I could do this, but. Maybe I should, but. But and the word try don't work for this group. And you see, I know that you guys are a very smart, astute group of people. Why? Because you guys never said no. Think of how we've moved in the last 18 months, family, here at Verity. We came together in a unique and designed way to show up right now in this community of social media using Zoom and YouTube. We found ways to stay connected and so excited to see each other after each Sunday service and fellowship that we get excited. We get motivated to say, yes, I can't wait to see Barbara and Bianca and Maureen and Joan Clark and everybody else on the like. But what's key? The key isn't that my excitement, the love of seeing my oneness with everyone moves. Take those words and the feelings, the action now happens. It's called the subconscious or of soil growth. What are you putting into your soul subconscious, where we hold our thoughts, our feelings, experiences, and then we re-record, and you guys have heard me say this before, that we hold on to the recordings of everything. And then we pull it back, and if we see something similar, we're like, oh wait, I had that before. And if it was from before, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I had a bad feeling, so this is going to be bad again. No, it's not. Why? Because you're different than before. Verity, we were different 18 months ago. We had an idea to keep this church moving and thriving the way that it has, that we were able to receive a new mortgage. We came as one mind, one vision, and we brought it through. And here we are today, standing taller and stronger than we ever have. Because why? We were prepared then, and we've been prepared all this time. So please take your applause. When we look at the imagination and exactly how it shows up, it is always movement. It's literally taking a dough of cookie and cutting out every shape. What are you, and this is an honest question, what are you cutting out so that you can bake in your soil to show up in your life affairs and world? Are we talking abundance of currency so that you can pay your bills on time at the right time? Are we talking about, traveling the world again because, hey, it is open, it's time to go, pack those bags? Are we showing up in a different way to allow others to see who we are from the goodness of our hearts? Or are we wearing masks again? Because I could tell you, we wear masks just to cover our face to go out into the grocery store and to be interactive in the neighborhood. But are we showing our true self? Are people getting to know the real you? I hope they are, because you know what? You're beautiful and great. And there's something special about you that the world needs now that we are opening back up. So please let your light shine. All right, keeping going. The next step is the actual plan. Are you using a plan? Do you have it written down step by step what you're going to do? Now, yes, we have the big idea. I want an abundance of money, for example. But how are you going to get there? Do you have a step saying, okay, I'm going to start saving, I'm going to start budgeting? Maybe I won't have all those Starbucks lattes and so forth on a daily basis. Are you finding ways to curtail your expensive spending so that you can have a bigger saving, so that you can do the big joys and things that you want to do that you have on your goal list? See, if we are not breaking down that big goal into smaller bite-sized steps or bite-sized pieces, we start to lose focus. We're like, maybe later. It seems too hard and it's daunting. No, it's not. Because like I said, we're not being prepared. The idea of taking it step by step allows us to climb the ladder, gain the resilience, learn the lessons, so that way when we get to another spot that seems familiar, we can go around it instead of falling in the pit and trying to climb back out again. And if you're with me, please let me know. So plan. See, the bridesmaids in the beginning, they were able to follow the steps. They kept their wicks sharp. They kept their oil just enough so that they had enough to keep pouring in. And then the time came that the bridegroom showed up, and it was time to enter into the wedding ceremony. What happened with the five not so smart? Well, they ran to the five wives saying, give us some of your stuff. And they went, no, we didn't spend our money. We took our time. We got ourselves ready. Why should I share with you? Because everybody has a choice. You have a choice to be prosperous and abundantly blessed. You have a choice to be living the life that you truly want, but what is stopping you? That's the question you have to ask yourself. What is stopping you from receiving all that you have? And I already told you, it started with the beginning, which is your mind. What are you holding in your mind? Because we know the way how it says is like, what I think about, I bring about. So whatever I'm holding in this conscious frame of mind is what it's going to produce after its kind. It's going to show up in my life affairs and world. It's going to show up in my substance. The manifestation, substance. Step number 4. How are you showing up with your action? The manifestation, you know if it's a good fruit because you'll yield a harvest. And even if you share your goodness, you share your gifts and talents, say writing a book, you're a musician, you can create and design things for everyone at the ready. Are you coming through and able to give freely? Or are you saying, well, you give me this and I'll give you that? Family, this is not the time to sit and say, oh, well, it's the end of summer and I'm taking it light. No, we start now. And if you haven't, please do. The idea of manifesting means that I am bringing forth exactly what I asked for. Now, the bonus is that you don't know how big and how bigger it can be. Yes, I'm saying it that way because I don't want to ever think small. And I hope you aren't either, because we are bold and limitless. We really are not living in a box shape. We're not in a box saying this is all I can have. No, I want it as big and as wide as I can get it. And I want it all. And I hope you do too. The idea of taking action means I am actually physically moving towards my goal. So even though I have my list of notes, am I going through each step to say at the end of the day that someone is saying, you know, Renee, that was a great idea. I didn't realize that if I actually take all the flour and the sugar and the eggs and the milk and the butter, I could actually make a cake, or I can make bread, or whatever. Are you doing the same thing in your world right now? You have canvas, you have paint, brushes, maybe your fingers. Are you creating something magnificent that the world would want? Now I'm going to throw in a story and tell you that it was actually a news story that someone sold an invisible artifact sculpture in Europe for $18,000. And everyone's like, it's a beautiful piece. And we're all sitting here thinking, what piece is there? The vision of what it is. Now, that should remind you of the story about the emperor's new coat and how he was, swore up and down that this new robe and everything was there. But I'm telling you, if you are not working these principles that we espouse every week here at Verity, then how are you showing up for you in the best way? Or are you, and I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way, are you showing up saying, yes, this is great, but as soon as we finish, I can't believe she said that. She was talking my business. Who told her my business? And you're ready to run me down. Please don't. It's Sunday morning. I'm trying to hold on, right? The goal of this whole process is to show up better than we did a minute ago. The world of adventure is right outside our door, and every moment in this day, every 24 hours, every second to every minute to every hour is something that we have never been in before. So the question I ask again is, are you willing to live in this creative process? Are you ready to take action and show up for yourself in such a bold and dynamic way that not anyone could say, well, I didn't know she had it in her. I didn't know that he was such a good singer, but I heard him sing and it was glorious. I need him to be, on stage and all these other things. Start asking yourself the question, where are you in the creative process right now? Are you seeing the vision and the concepts? Are you backtracking just the same way as the unwise bridesmaids did, and realized that had I been prepared, had I shown up and actually had all my tools ready instead of sleeping and gallivanting and not being ready when the bridegroom came? It said, keep awake, because you need not know the time nor the hour. We don't know when we are being called to show up. We are not sure when we are supposed to give of our gifts and talents, but we must be ready. Now, for some, you may have known that I had written a book or a journal, but the joy of it was that I had all these affirmations collected. And I said, I should do something with it right now. And the idea came, create a book. You take the idea and you work it through. And how did you want it to show up? How are you creatively manifesting something so that 3 months later it became something that was available for everyone? It still is. My point is, there was a process in the order of things, and everything is in order. If you're looking for the true way of it, look at Genesis 1. In the beginning was an idea that God had. The idea was to have something to show up, and then out of that came the water, which is substance, the infinite potential. It became the land. It became day and night. And then when everything was ready, then he created the animals. And then after his image and likeness, then came us. It didn't say we showed up and then we were sitting there in the invisible realm. No. Everything had a plan and a process. Each day had something new. That was the idea. The idea was to create something, come up with the vision, let it manifest, unfold in such a bold and I keep saying it, bold and dynamic way, because it really is awesome how life is showing up and allowing us to unfold and create and be unique in our own skin, in our own world or environment. And we don't have to stay here. We can go anywhere. Why? Because everything that we need to live that abundant life is already here or in our heart. We've been taught this over and over, that the process, if we keep changing the words, it's like, oh, I didn't hear it like that before. But we have. It's just we needed it now. The idea behind the manifestation is to show up in substance, something tangible that we can see, touch, taste, and the like, and then say, you know what? Not only am I prepared, but I now have confidence. So my back is a little bit straight, my shoulders are tucked in, and I'm bold. I have a smile on my face, joy in my heart, and I'm ready to confidently move into my newness. I'm not feeling like, oh yeah, I'm ready for that abundant money. I'm ready for my new job, but you sound meek and kind of, shrunk in. No. When we are ready for our newness, we sit tall and strong. We're excited, we're motivated. We walk with a different stance of confidence. So I hope you're sitting a little bolder in your chair and your shoulders back and your chest out. Why? Because we are not meek or small. The idea that I am, which you are, started from within. You are bold, whole, creative, perfect, and full of vitality. So when are you going to show up for you and claim you're good? Are you penciling it in saying next week around 4 o'clock, Tuesday afternoon? Or are you going to do it right now? Hopefully it's right now. Take action on those ideas that come fully closed and move on it. Don't allow your ego nature, and nothing's wrong with the ego, but if it's sitting in the driver's seat, it needs to go in the back seat with Lucille. I don't know who Lucille is. Go with it. But you cannot have your ego sit in the front seat driving you, because it's not going to get you to your dream destination, which is abundance, which is prosperity, which is universal love, or that complete fulfillment of peace of mind and heart for you. The idea of this whole creative process is to show up as your best self. And we have all the tools. If we need to start again, the first thing I'm going to suggest is that we do a little bit of denial work. Maybe you have to do a burning bowl. Start forgiving yourself for holding all these old concepts, affirm the new, and then take the idea, the vision, the manifestation. It's time to begin something wonderful for ourselves as we are in this new moment. I've heard many people, not just here at Verity, but around the world, starting new businesses and new opportunities, and found new ways that they didn't realize I had a gift and talent. Many were always running outside for food, but didn't realize that they were a real good chef because they were always outside and didn't want to be home. Many marriages were saved because they were able to stop and physically listen to one another and realize the love was always there. They just got a little bit disconnected, but the connection is back and it's stronger than ever. How are you showing up for you right now? What idea did God give you that you are using to show up better than before? Have you even acted on it? Did you put it to pen to paper and say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do today. Here's the idea. I could see it showing up and having true understanding, meaning standing on your two spiritual legs of truth, wholeness, and love to move forward. Are you using your spiritual gifts of will and understanding and order? Because everything is always in divine order. Family, this morning, as we wrap up and we get ready for our meeting later, the idea behind this creative process is to take one idea, which is absolute good in the eyes and sight of our heavenly God, our truth, and then take that and move it into our life affairs and world and say, okay, how does this relate to me? What do I need to do to show up and be that light in truth? Because remember, as I am one in love, I raise the vibration for everyone to be linked towards me. So are you being that bright light that's raising others up? Or are you somewhat disconnected? It's a real honest question. I'm not asking you to answer it now. It is one to take into reflection later on. I'm telling you, it works because here I am. You guys have known me that there were many times before. I didn't know I was going to be speaking to you here in this manner, but I'm here because I had the idea at one time and I worked through the process. I worked with our senior ministers. I worked and became a teacher, and here I am now delivering. Who knows what's next? But I could tell you the truth, I'm prepared. Why? Because we have our spiritual principles. We have our 12 spiritual gifts. We have an idea. I have a plan. I have it written down, and I'm about to manifest it. So I ask you, are you ready for your goodness and your wholeness today? And if so, say you're ready, because it is time to begin. I truly love and appreciate that I can be here again this morning with all of you in your divine, unique, beautiful selves. I love you. Namaste. And so it is.
Had a good lesson. Now we want you to dance with us. 1, 2, here we go. If you came to the place harder than you can, be the same way that you came in. Just tell them what you want, you can have if you want to be free from sin. It's never too late if you want to celebrate with the body of Christ like me. You better get it while the getting is good, you can have it if you grab it while the getting is free. Come on, let's dance. Get up with me, get up on your feet. Move out my way now, move out my way. Got to praise today. Lift that voice, lift your voice, please make some noise. Raise up those hands, raise your hands, move to the beat that dance. It doesn't matter what color you're, my brother, if you can't move. Let me take you to a level that I'll love you from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. If it comes that you might have light and that you might have it abundantly, you better get it while the getting is good. You can have to grab it while the getting is free. Come on, let's dance. Get up with me, get up on your feet. Move out my way now, move out my way. God praise today, lift that voice, lift your voice, please make some noise. Raise up those hands, raise your hands, move to me like that. Pain and sorrow, and misery shall reap joy, oh joy, rejoice in the Lord and righteousness, and thank Him for His merit and His hope in us. Come on, let's dance. Get up with me, get up on your feet. Move out my way now, move out my way. God praise today, lift that voice, lift your voice, please make some noise. Raise up those hands, raise your hands. One more time, come on, let's dance. Get up with me, get up on your feet. Move out my way now, move out my way. God praise today, lift that voice, lift your voice, please make some noise. Raise up those hands, raise your hands, move the beat, let's dance.
Oh, family. Okay, before I go, because I got noted by the minister, because that's how I am. Here is a little homework. I am going to challenge you to do something for yourself right now, because everyone's like, well, this was really good. Great. Now I'm going to put you to action. On a piece of paper or in your journal, whatever you need to do. 30, I want you to have something for 30 days, something for 60 days, and something for 90 days. Believe me, I'm doing this right now myself, so you're not alone. We could talk about it later. In 30 days, what short-term things can you do right now? Maybe it's to pay off a bill. Maybe it's to start a course. Maybe it's just to say that you went outside and took a walk for 5K. Whatever it is, put it as your 30-day goal. Put a date with it. Don't say, well, I'll just do it. No. We're not about that. We're prepared, right? We said we're doing this, right? So 30 days. What are you going to do for 60 days? What's the goal in 60 days? Same thing. Make little steps. What's the big goal for 90 days? And for each one, I want you to write one reward for each of those things. So say it was exercising every day for 30 days. Well, what's your goal? Maybe it's to go to the spa. Maybe it's just to get your nails done and your feet scrubbed, because it's been a long time doing that. Put that down. The idea behind this whole thing is to show up and have a reward, because we like rewards. I mean, for those who get your Tim card points and your Starbucks points and maybe your petrol points, we like rewards so we could use it for another time. Well, what's our goal? What's our reward for our 30, 60, and 90 day? And then come back and say how much fun you had with it. There you go. I love you.
Thank you, Renee. That's awesome. It's always nice to have a little bit of follow-up work that we do to ensure our spiritual well-being. So thank you. Great lesson today. Well, it is that time in our service when we give back of our good, and I want to invite you, as you prepare your offering today, to prepare it with love and gratitude. And let us say together the offering blessing. The slide is on your screen. Together, please. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. All is well, and so it is. And there are numerous ways that you can give your gifts. And the ways you can give, of course, e-transfer. You can send a donation to admin@veritycenter.org. Or you can go to Canada Helps and go to Verity Centre for Better Living, Inc. and make a donation that way. And of course, we always accept cash and debit and everything in the office, and also checks. If you like to write checks, you can mail one to Verity Centre for Better Living, 447 Vaughan Road, Toronto, M6C 2P as in Paul 4. Let us join together in consciousness as we bless this offering and also the prayer requests that have come in throughout the week. Please join with me now. As I take a deep breath in, I recognize the power and presence of God as life itself. I know that the energy and vitality and strength of this church comes from those of us who are members. It is the energy, the love, the direction that we pay, but also the money that we give, which truly is the activity of God in the finances of ourselves and this church. So I know that all good is here, that this money is growing and expanding, that the work that we do is becoming bigger and brighter, and that wonderful things are occurring all around. For this, I am truly, truly grateful. I'm grateful for the expanded growth, the expanded well-being, and the joyful celebrations that are constants at Verity Centre for Better Living. I know too, for every prayer request, that divine health is realized, and that whatever's in the highest and best good for each individual is fully realized here and now. That life is unfolding with beauty and grace, and I know that all is well. And I know for the AGM today that everything comes together in beauty and grace, and we truly are divinely blessed. So grateful for this day and this moment. Grateful for all that is. I release these ideas into the law of mind. I know it is done, and so it is. And let us say together the prayer of protection. Together, please. The slide is on your screen. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and so it is. And now voices of praise, actually Shemroy and Grisha singing This Little Light of Mine.